know you can look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus, he the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace, you know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me, tone it down.
Yo, what up, everybody? Good morning. This is...
It's not morning.
Yeah,
Don't lie. It's like 6 o'clock in the evening, but this is Sippin on 7.
This is our delayed Sippin on 7 Saturday morning, evening broadcast to bring Tampa to you on this beautiful Saturday evening. We had a great day, had some stuff we had to take care of.
4th of July weekend.
4th of July weekend.
Boat
Super
parade
pumped.
coming up.
Boat parade coming up.
I'm happy. I'll be there.
I know. I thought you were still controversial about it.
I still am controversial about it. I think that it does.
I'm not going in protest. No, I'm kidding.
It takes away from how special it is. It's like...
What?
If you do a boat parade celebration for winning a championship, when you don't win a championship, then it's not special. And you can't say, no, well, they won the Eastern Conference Finals, so they should be able to get a boat parade. No, bro. Don't be a joke. Are you serious?
Yeah, but the thing is
are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's gonna be lit.
It'll be fun. I'm still going. I'm gonna have a good time. But I'm just saying, if you do this, then it ruins it.
No.
It makes it not special. Yes.
I disagree. It's gonna be special. People are still gonna be out on their boats partying. Colorado didn't really win. They 99%
half of the Lightning
won.
aren't even in town or in the state.
Yeah, I saw one of them is like, I think it was Sergey.
Sergey's totally like in like Tahiti or something.
Sergey was just like jumping in the thing with his dog.
Vassie's in Miami. They're on vacation. They played hard for a long time and now they're having a break.
You don't think they're gonna come back for the boat parade?
I don't know. I'll let you know.
I wonder if the organization said, "Hey, the city is celebrating you. You have to be there."
No, because it's like, it's not a Lightning boat parade.
What do you mean no? The mayor in the article literally said they're going to celebrate the Tampa Bay Lightning on the 4th of July at the boat parade.
Sure, but she can't say, hey, the players have to be there. She's not the NHL players.
She can't, but when a city throws you a parade, it's customary to show up.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So you're going to come back from your vacation in Tahiti?
When you're being paid millions of dollars pretty much by the city and fans that support you, and then they want to come. That's not how
sports work. I'm sorry.
If you want to know what a sports team is like without the support of its city, go to Oakland and go to their baseball stadium, or go to St. Pete and watch the Rays. Tampa Bay, the Lightning are what they are because of this city and the fan base. If they don't, they can leave. But my point is, when the city throws you a parade and includes the celebration of you, it would be nice if you'd actually show up. I'll tell you who is definitely going to be there. Nick Paul, with his new 3-something million a year.
3.15.
Almost 3.15.
7 years.
20-something, 21 million over a 7-year period. And which, I got to be honest with you, we talked about the trades that would make sense, the things that they need to do. We said that we should get Nick Paul if he was reasonably priced.
That's very reasonable.
315 is just slightly above what I think he's worth paying, although as he develops, he may end up worth more than that.
3.15 is a steal for Nick Paul.
I think that is a perspective.
The correct one.
I'm sure you think that on that side over there. I think Nick Paul, it would be great to not pay him that much for cap space.
That's not a lot.
It is enough for me to think that they're going to be required.
How much do you want these guys to get paid? Nothing?
Oh, it's not that, but I mean, like,
what does Point get paid? 9.5?
$9.5 million a year.
So you think that Nick Paul isn't a third of the player that Braden Point is?
I think Braden Point shouldn't get 9.5 a year. That's what I think.
I agree, but that doesn't mean that. You think that Nick Paul is a third of Braden Point?
I think that everyone is riding Nick Paul after he played like 8 weeks of Lightning hockey and he played well in the playoffs. And I think that when you're signing a player long-term like that, it's a little bit risky based on just one playoff season performance.
It's not based off of that. He's played in the NHL for 7 years.
Right. So, but people are saying to trade McDonough. People don't care about his statistics, so it's all about money. So then it's like, well, you know, I mean, McDonough is a little bit overpaid. But
I love him. He's the best shot blocking defenseman in NHL history in the playoffs. But he does get paid too much.
he gets paid a lot. Like, if they would have restructured McDonough to make room to pay Paul,
They still
then
could.
$315. Yeah, I don't know though. There's a lot of talk about that.
He has to be willing to.
I wonder if he is willing to.
If he's not willing to, then they're going to trade him. It's that. And then they're talking about places where he could go. New York was hot. The Islanders were hot for a minute. But today they're talking about the Blues as a possible place.
Which, I don't know. They have a working trading relationship with the Blues. Maybe the Blues is fine, but
I'm pumped for Nick Paul. Nick Paul at 3.15 per year for 7 years is an absolute steal. Steal.
I think a lot of Lightning fans agree with you.
Yeah, if anybody else, if he would have went on the free agent market and then taken offers from other places, he'd be getting $5 a year next year.
I agree with you. I think any other organization, he'd be getting between 5 and 6 a year.
Which means it's a steal.
Because we can't. Well, it's not always about can we get a player for cheaper. It's about can we get a player for cheaper that works for our team with what we need, making the moves we need to win a cup. And I don't know why you're so on top of Nick Paul, but I like him. I think he's a great player. I think 315 is
if
fair.
hockey had like a war, like where wins above replacement in baseball, where you can see true
it is
value.
Baseball seasons. That's what we're thinking about.
How many wins did this person have? He would have like a 3 WAR in the playoffs alone.
Yeah.
And the only reason why he wasn't more clutch in the regular season is because they had him on different lines trying to figure out when to put him in the playoffs.
He hadn't settled into the team yet.
He was still good.
Like I said, I don't think, like, it's not a personal thing with money in the salary cap. It's not like, do I want to see him get paid more money? I'd love it if all the players got paid $50 million a year, but that's not how hockey works. That's not how the cap works. And in the cap era, the reason the Lightning have been good,
but on a cap of 83, 84 million, whatever they're projecting it's going to be, $3 million is not a lot.
Well, we're currently $2 million over, and with this, we're $5.5 million over, which
correct,
means
but they still have McDonough on the payroll.
I don't think I would take Paul over McDonough.
I would.
But that seems to be right. And you're not obviously not a loyalist to the assistant captain of the team. I think that he needs to restructure. I think he'd be willing to, and I think you keep McDonough and you offer Paul.
I think if he was willing to, they would have done it.
Well, we don't know that yet. But I guess you're saying he's like, no, I'm not taking a pay cut.
When the first thing that comes out is the Lightning are helping Ryan McDonough try to find a trade partner, which means we've tried to keep him and to pay him less money, and he has said no. So thus, we're finding a place that's willing to trade.
But don't we have to retain? Don't we have to retain some of the contract?
We don't have to do that. No, that's what the Islanders were pitching. The Islanders wanted to trade him, and then us keep $6 million on our cap.
Well, yeah, because who's going to want to pay him almost $7 million when he's older? He's a great shot blocker, but offensively he doesn't bring a lot to the table. You have a lot of hybrid players now. Cale Makar is an example, but
he is the future prototype of what a defenseman
Nick Paul has a very strong defensive presence, even though he's an offensive player. He has a very strong defensive presence. So that's where hockey's moving. McDonough doesn't really fit that. So his value was as an assistant captain. He has a very calm demeanor, a leadership role. He's a very strong type figure. That was his value. So who's going to want to pay him almost $7 million a year? So what if there are no trade options? Then he's forced to restructure, or what? I mean, the Lightning can't just hey, you're fired. I mean, he's locked in a contract. So like, what I'm saying is
you can do some cap ninja stuff and work it out.
Well, that's what they always do. That's what all the Tampa teams are. I mean, obviously the Rays don't have a cap to work with, but the Buccaneers front office
they have a Stu Sternberg given cap.
It's the Canes Furniture cap. That's what I'm calling it. That's it. Period. For me, it's the Canes Furniture cap. It's a Tijuana flat cap. But
the reel that is going to be going on Instagram sometime soon. I showed my dad it today, and he laughed pretty hard at you.
That's good then. That's good.
He was like, yeah, that is a pretty terrible deal. But then I brought up how when I was younger that the deal was about like 50% off at Papa John's Pizza.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
What?
Yeah, it's like a Papa John's Pizza is like $9. That's like $4.50. A taco at Tijuana Flats is like 89 cents.
when you
And inflation and
at
money's
least
way
when you
worse.
at least when you go now, it's free. You're getting a free taco, free chips, and free drink.
What, $6 a gallon for gas? What's free?
You're not even listening to what I'm trying to say.
But you have to drive to do those things.
So okay,
So nothing's
you're
free.
not listening to what I'm saying. It's free now. It used to be half off of a Papa John's pizza.
I would take half off now of a Papa John's pizza more than a free taco having
You're
to
a
go to
joke.
2 locations.
As a person right now, you're being ridiculous, and you know it.
No, I'm not.
First of all,
Why would
Papa
I want
John's,
to drive
Papa
to
John's
2
stinks.
I don't mind Papa John's that much. But why would I want to
What?
drive to 2 places
Name
to go get
what
a
is
free
one good
taco?
thing about Papa John's?
It's available.
Wow, it's there. It exists. Is
Right.
it a positive thing about
Yeah,
Papa John's?
Just like what did I say when remember they had water? What did I, at Bricado's. That was what was positive about Bricado's Sandwich Shop Cuban sandwich. They had water so that you could flush the horrible sandwich out of your body.
It wasn't horrible. It just wasn't a Cuban.
I actually wouldn't eat that sandwich. Even
I would
for
not
lunch.
either.
Yeah.
But they don't do Cubans there.
No,
They do
yeah, I'm sure
devil
they
crabs,
have
do
other
things.
sandwiches. And we'll go do a devil crab review one day since apparently that's like your heart's desire is I have to have their devil crab. But back to the point. The only thing other than Shane McClanahan being the greatest baseball player to ever touch baseball
He's sick right now.
is the Lightning
Today
cap space. That's that.
versus
oh,
the Toronto
we're going
Blue
into
Jays.
baseball. I
yeah,
guess.
because you're ridiculous with this whole. Oh, he's overpaid. He's not. It's not a steal.
I think that
Ridiculous.
I think that being entitled to an opinion as I am, and
you can have an
know,
opinion that's wrong,
I know, and you can be arrogant and look foolish. I'm just saying that
but it's wrong.
It's an
$3 million out of $80 million, and you're saying that's not a steal on a 20-man roster? What's 3 times 20 real quick? Tell me. What? 60. So you're $20 million under the cap if everybody's at $3 million. That's called a steal.
It's not. That's not how it works.
It's not, because some people get paid 9, some people get paid less than $1 million. But on average, that's a steal.
We don't know what would have happened if we don't know what other teams offered Nick Paul. I think you're right on the money. Somewhere between 5 and 6 is what he would have got paid with other teams. But
So half of that is a steal.
no, because those teams have 20 million cap space to work with. We were one of only 2 teams that don't have that cap space to work with. So I don't understand why that's
When we get done with
so
this
difficult
today,
to understand.
we're going to talk math and money and sports and how this works. Okay?
No, I won't. I have somewhere to be.
At
That's
8
not
o'clock,
here.
and it's not going to be 8 o'clock when we're done with this.
It might be, you know.
It's not. Today, Shane McClanahan pitched against the Blue Jays, and we made a whole video that's going to be coming out next week about how if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's probably going to be the Cy Young winner. He already probably is going to be the All-Star starter.
We definitely don't believe in jinxes. 100% not.
No, you just talk about it. And
Definitely, we don't believe in jinxes.
when somebody's throwing a no-hitter, I'll say, hey, he's throwing a no-hitter right now. Like, I don't care.
When we said the Lightning were three-peat no matter what,
You
it's
said
definitely
that.
not a jinx.
You said
That's
that.
why I'm not saying Shane's going to win the Cy Young.
But today he pitched 7 innings, had like 3 hits, gave up 1 earned run and 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. The dude is disgusting.
Yeah,
We have a whole video coming out about it. We'll talk about it more.
if he does that for the rest of the year, he's not only is he going to win the Cy Young, but well, it's hard because you can't put the whole team on a pitcher. But the Rays may actually have a pretty good run if they can get their
hit the
bats
ball.
hot. Yeah, if they can get their bats.
Well,
Although,
Wander hit a home run today.
Yeah, Wander's back.
Paredes hit a home run
That was
today.
a flat home run by Wander. The announcer didn't even know it was going to be gone. It
Off the
looked
bat,
like a line drive.
It looked like a line drive double, like in the.
And then he's like, "We'll see if it makes it to the wall." And then he's like,
home run.
"Oh no!" He was like, "We'll see if it's a fair ball. Where's the ball?" He's like, "Oh, it went over the wall. It's a home run." Like the announcer's shocked. He hit it so hard. I wonder what the exit velocity was. Had to be like 112.
At least 110. Yeah.
Something ridiculous like that.
Has to be to go like that.
But we'll see if the Rays can get it together. I mean, Shane's an incredible pitcher and definitely underrated, and he's starting to surface in the league as being realized how good he is. And then we saw, I think it was this week, we saw Glass now throwing hard. I mean, he was
throwing hard in his bullpen.
High 80s probably in the bullpen, throwing hard. So we're excited to see when is he going to make his return. If that's a home game, we are definitely going to be at that
I think
game.
he was predicted to be August.
That's
Like when it first happened, like a year ago.
And I think they said he's moving along very
He's
quickly.
like doing, better
So
than
it could
he's
even
supposed
be
to
the end of this month or early August.
I don't think that they'll rush him though. If like,
Well, he'll tell him how he,
I know he wants to play.
I would want to play too. The dude's like, Yeah, he's been out long enough, and he loves just hearing him on like John Boy talking about being on the mound and about. I mean, he wants to be.
He's a gamer.
He wants to be. Yeah, he wants to be on the mound.
I love it. What else in sports do we have? NFL is like
we
something like 70 days away.
We didn't talk about Coach Derek Lalonde.
Yes.
Who was one of the assistant coaches for Lightning, I believe, since 2013. And he did what is it, the ECHL? There's like the AHL, and then there's like further below that. There's like two below that. I think it's the ECHL.
There are two things below it, but there's just a letters and then HL in my head.
I think it's
AHL.
the ECHL. But he coached there, and then they brought him up to play. Well, he just took the head coaching position of the currently being restructured Detroit Red Wings, which is interesting because the general manager of the Red Wings is
Stevie Y.
Steve Yzerman, who all Tampa fans are familiar with for his role with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And so he must have seen, because when did he leave Tampa? It was like
2018, 2019.
Right. That's what I mean. So he must have been watching Coach Derek.
I think 2018.
Okay, so 2018. So he got to watch Coach Derek for like 5 years and was like, hey, this guy is he must think very highly of him. If he's going to say, I want you to come head coach. Obviously, the Tampa won back-to-back. I'm not surprised by our coaches being, what's the word, poached? Not that we love Steve Yzerman, so it's not that he's like poaching in a bad way, but I'm not surprised that they're being poached. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if certain players that were like, we got to have him, like Palat, someone's going to offer him $8.5 million a year. There's no way to keep him with us at that, so it's like, hey, are you going to take $4 million a year and stay with us, or are you going to take $8.5 million somewhere else? Well, Nick Paul said that he loves Tampa and he loves being here, and I think it's a great place to be. That's, it's a great organization to be a part of. But anyway, Coach Derek is now the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, so excited to see him when he comes back around for the first matchup between the Red Wings and the Bolts at home. And I wonder if they'll put him on the camera. Be good to see Coach D in the building.
Probably. They're good at stuff like that.
So that's some Lightning news. Nick Paul being signed. McDonough may go to the Blues or New York if they can stop arguing.
Palat open.
Corey Perry is not a free agent. We said that in the last video, but I remembered he still has $1 million for 1 year. He's 37 years old. Most likely he'll retire after this next season with the Bolts. You don't know that. Most likely he will retire. Hockey players
have played till they're like 45, quite often.
Some of them have. But anyway, most likely I don't think anyone's going to be going after Corey Perry at 38 years old. Although a $1 million contract's pretty small, so not a lot of people had faith in him, I guess. But he's been a dominant part of especially our playoff run. He was very important, so it's good to see we're still going to have him for one more year. At $1 million, that's a steal for Corey Perry. And so we have a year of him. The only other question marks on the board are Ruda, who's a free agent, and Andre Palat are two free agents.
And then filling in a D-man if McDonough goes somewhere else.
But if McDonough goes somewhere else, that money goes straight to Palat and Ruda. So then it's like...
Then where do you have...
You
have to get a less than $1 million rookie from that we have in Syracuse.
Or you trade with the Canadians and you get some first-round draft picks. You draft a defenseman.
It's not the Lightning way.
I know. But if you put a good defenseman under Hedman for a couple months in the regular season, he could be pretty valuable by the playoffs.
We talked about this actually earlier today. I brought it up. And I looked this up last week because the Lightning have been not the greatest at drafting first-round draft picks. As a rule. The most recent first-round draft pick that the Lightning have that plays is in 2017. They drafted Cal Foote in the first round.
Who
is all right.
I thought you were about to say booty. He's
but he got sat down as, hey, let's run 5 defensemen and run 11 forwards or whatever they did.
Yeah, Riley Nash comes out and
so they don't even play Foote,
which is interesting. What about Colton?
Ross Colton's a wing.
Did we draft him? Was he first round?
I don't know. He's young, so we could have drafted him late or traded for him. I don't remember.
Jesus. I thought
but then the next closest first-round draft pick, that plays is Vasilevsky.
2014.
And he was
That was
drafted
almost
like
10 years ago.
19th overall, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying.
So us trading
know.
to get a top 10 pick doesn't do anything because now you have to pay a top 10 pick.
Yeah, but you can pay. Well, that's true because I guess straight out the gate, those guys are getting a couple million a year.
I don't know how that works in hockey, but like for example, in football, you're gonna have a rookie deal, but then it can still be structured out to be like, hey, you're a first overall pick, you're getting paid. Remember when Jamarcus Russell. Sorry, wrong sport. Jamarcus Russell. When he was drafted first overall by the Raiders, he like sat out and like didn't play until like this season started pretty much.
Did you seriously
to
say
get a bigger
wrong
contract.
sport?
Who did I say?
You said Russell Wilson.
I
You
said
wrong sport.
I said
and then you kept talking about football, and I was like,
Listen.
"What the?
I
Finish
said-
your coffee."
I said Russell Wilson, but in my head I said Russell Westbrook.
They're like, "Sorry, wrong sport."
Wrong
the
sport.
Raiders.
Have you seen Russell Wilson doing the commercial or whatever "Let's Ride" thing for the Broncos?
No.
Bro, I'm gonna show you.
Is
You're
it
gonna
funny?
So on the Pat McAfee show, whenever they start the show with the group saying "Let's Ride," making fun of Russell Wilson because
Hey, he got paid like $9 million for that commercial.
Because he's like, "Hey Broncos, let's ride." It's so corny and funny, bro. You're gonna laugh so hard.
he is kind of corny.
Anything sports else before we move on to the next segment?
No, I'm happy with this week. I'm actually happy with the Rays. I mean, we've been playing not great a week ago. We're playing okay right now. Our pitching's fire. Some players are starting to come back. I saw KK's back.
KK's back. What's his name? Franco's back.
Yeah. So we're
One other person was back.
we're getting. I mean, that's our two best players.
They
you know,
are the
by
star
that.
franchise
The star.
players, yeah.
So yeah, it's good to see them back. So hopefully we can win some games here coming up. But we'll go ahead and move on here to our next segment. A lot of people, Tampa people's favorite segment probably, except watching you lose in trivia, is going to be our top 5 segment. Now, what we've been doing and what we'll continue to do is top 5 in order. Top 5 things or categories or something related to Tampa Bay or the Tampa Bay area or the city of Tampa. And my wife, my beautiful wife's been helping us out with these. She also does the trivia. Hello, wife.
Hello.
So, what are our top 5 questions for today for the audience to know? Because obviously we know. Wrote them down there.
Okay, so
Your handwriting's so small.
I write small, yeah.
You're like,
My whole life I've done
today,
that.
on our top 5 segment, we're going to be talking about the top 5 tourist spots in Tampa, and we're going to have the boys here kind of tag team off each other. Jared's going to be sharing on those fun touristy
Like the cliche
activities.
actual tourist
Yeah,
spots.
exactly. So tourist locations, think touristy. And then Ryan is going to share some of those less touristy alternatives for, those tourists who visit who are actually looking for, the local experience.
I follow. I hope you guys follow at home.
I hope you follow.
If you hear Josie
And
in the
subscribe.
background, she's been quiet for like hours and hours, and she decided to save it all for right now.
Yeah.
So
Literally, we took her out. We took her to the Hotel Aya for lunch, and like she was quiet and perfect and happy and eating a little apple and whatever. But now she's like
lit.
ready. She's lit. She's
Jojo,
like,
you want to share?
Did you give her coffee? You sure you didn't give her coffee?
I don't know what she's eating.
my bracelet?
I may have slipped her some coffee there.
you wanna
Say
share?
hi.
All right, top 5 tourist spots in Tampa. The cliche one, like if you were to Google,
Are you gonna go 1 to 5?
no, 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
If you were to Google like top things to do in Tampa, this is going to be on every list, I'm pretty sure. And it's Busch Gardens at number 5. I know Busch Gardens has been on a list before for something for you to do, and you said that it was better than Disney. That was probably one of the dumbest things that came out of your mouth, but it's okay. I agree with you.
Apparently, Nick Paul's now on the top of that list. It's like
saying that he's not under, or that that's not a steal to get him is up there.
I don't know who we're stealing from. So,
Him. That's how it works.
all right, well,
All right, number 5,
if
Busch
you want to
Gardens.
steal from him.
I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek into what you should do at Busch Gardens. You should go to Busch Gardens on New Year's Day. And if you go to Busch Gardens on New Year's Day, you'll be like one of 150 people in the whole park. And it's the best day of the whole year to go, and you'll have a blast.
Presuming you have no family or friends who miss your presence on New Year's Day.
Who's going to miss you on New Year's Day?
Your mother, your
Why don't you do what,
grandfather, your-
like, go to Busch Gardens with your family?
If your whole family wants to go to Busch Gardens on New Year's Day, you should do that.
I mean, it would be kind of fun, celebrate New Year's Eve, and then the next day.
It's empty because everybody's hungover,
do
and, like,
a
you're there at the theme
family-
park.
You know what's
Activity.
not empty on the first of the year? Disney World, because
The
it
gym.
is garbage. The gym. No,
That's a
the
fact.
gym's not packed on the first.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Monday. If it's a Monday and it's like in
That's
People are
true.
like, I am starting
or like
this
a
year.
weekday, like I'm doing it. Number
For a
5,
week.
Busch Gardens. Number 4 is Pier 60 in Clearwater. You always hear it. People from like around the world know what Clearwater Beach is. So, like if you're a local, don't go to Clearwater Beach unless like that's what you want to do. But Pier 60 is the pier at Clearwater. You go out there, you see the water, see the sunset, so on and so
You're
forth.
freaking ridiculous. He wrote his list down, and there's no order at all in what he wrote down, and then he just wrote numbers beside it to number them.
Right. I was brainstorming what my top 5
So
were
now
and then ordering.
I'm
them.
sitting here looking, and I'm like, how did you go from that to that? From the top one to the very
Why are you
bottom
worried about
one?
my list?
Because
lists
I
don't
am
have to
going.
correspond.
They're very corresponding. It's like I'm the cooler brother in the family that actually knows the
All right.
city.
Number 5, Busch Gardens. Number 4, Pier 60. Number 3, I'm going to say Ybor City as a whole, but then more specifically, the J.C. Newman Cigar Factory. They do a lot of marketing, Ybor City does, to like tourists. Like it's like, hey, come on a cruise ship and stop in Tampa and then come to Ybor City. And like they have the tour buses that drop off people there all the time. So Ybor City is like a tourist destination. Come and see like the old vibe, 2-story building kind of thing. Go to Centro Ybor. But then it's Cigar City. So then a lot of people, even Tampa people, have never even seen a cigar factory. So if you're in town, tourist spot, go to J.C. Newman. The tour there is absolutely amazing. I was talking to somebody about it today, literally. We were talking about Tampa cigar factories, and I was like, yeah, go to J.C. Newman, do a tour. It's amazing. I have pictures on my phone if you want to see. It's great. Ybor City, J.C. Newman. Number 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
You ready for this?
All right, let me prepare myself. The second best touristy cliche place to go in Tampa Bay area. Go.
I'm going to say the Florida Aquarium. Now, I'm speaking from what tourists would want to do when they come.
I've never been.
So, surprise, I haven't been there since I was like 3. And when I was there, I was more excited about seeing the ships in the harbor
That's probably, yeah.
than I was the aquarium.
That's you in a nutshell.
Literally. But
In the shell of a nut.
next weekend, I'm going to the aquarium so I can actually vouch for that. How about that?
I have been to so many good aquariums in my life that I would just enjoy Josephine going to the aquarium.
I just like looking at fish.
Yeah, I like looking at fish.
I like catching fish too, though.
spearfishing.
Spearfishing is my
Top
favorite.
5 cool things to do
As a human.
as a human.
Spearfishing's great.
Jump out of airplanes, spearfishing.
All right, my number 1, and I have done this recently.
Hold on, I feel like you skipped one.
No, he didn't.
Busch Gardens,
Okay.
Pier 60.
Pier 60,
Did you say that?
Ybor, yeah,
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
Ybor City, Florida Aquarium.
Oh, yeah.
Number 1.
Okay.
I did number 1 with my pinky. That's kind of weird. Number 1 is the Dolly Museum, over in St. Pete,
Interesting.
right on the water.
That's Salvador?
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali?
That's correct.
What a name.
I think the most famous painting that he's done is probably the one with like the melting clocks. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
That's a pretty famous one.
Pretty famous. So they have like the whole Dali exhibit. You can download an app on your phone, and then like you walk around, you can see it'll like give you like a tour guide of where to go. Then you can like click the different paintings. It'll tell you all about the story.
Tell us about your experience at the Dolly. How'd you enjoy the artwork?
So I don't get art. I don't understand it. I've tried to understand it. That's why I've gone to the Dolly Museum to try to get it. But
He literally did. He's like, I went to the Dolly Museum and I tried as hard as I could to
I was like, I want to get it. I
and
want to
understand the art. He called me afterwards. He was like, bro, I walked around there. I listened to the thing on my phone and I was like looking at the paintings, like trying to find some meaning. And like, this place is whack.
But other people do get it. And so then they should go.
I get it. I love museums. I love art museums.
At the time, they had like a special exhibit. So there's like on one side of the museum is like the Dolly side. Then the other side is like a rotation of different things.
That's
so
nice.
When I was there, it was a really cool female photographer that did everything in black and white. And it was like photos from like World War II all the way up until when she died, I think.
Oh, wow.
But it's literally just pictures on a wall. And then with
love pictures.
It's a wall, pictures, and then like it just says the name of what the picture is.
I love
nothing else
that.
about it.
That's
So it's
pretty
like a
much
gallery.
what the World War II museum is.
Is it? I haven't
Pretty
been
much.
to that. I've been
And then
to
some shoes.
I've been to the Holocaust Museum in DC before.
That's pretty much similar, right? It's pictures of stuff and
No,
then,
it like tells you about it, and then there's writing. You can read it, and then you can like there's walk
that's
into
true.
exhibits.
So you're saying there's no information, just pictures.
Just pictures, and then like when it was taken, that's it.
That's
So
a
that's
super
a gallery.
like
it's
yeah, it's
not
like a
really
photo
museum.
gallery.
It's like a
That was like
art
the one
or
side of it.
photography gallery.
Then the Dolly side was cool, and it's cool
Yeah.
because there's like little tiny pictures like this big. Then there's pictures that are like the size of a 2-story house.
Is there
It's-
no sculptures?
I think there may have been a couple.
I thought he did like abstract sculpture work too.
I think so.
That's why the museum's so cool shaped.
Maybe.
I thought he was like.
I don't remember there being a physical sculpture. I remember there being like some 3D art. Like,
I'm gonna need to go. Need to
you
go.
should go. That's my top 5 tourist spots. And then Ryan is going to do like
I'm doing your non-tourist
Local
spots.
experience.
local experience. as a
Kind of
tourist.
local experience. I wrote my list while he wrote his list specifically to give alternative local options to the choices that he made for his top 5. Now, he didn't pick those because those are his personal favorites. He picked
Correct.
those because those are the top 5 just touristy,
If you're
what
a tourist,
Tampa is.
if I ran into a tourist on the side of the road and they were like, "Hey, what 5 things should I do while I'm here in Tampa?" That's what I would tell them.
I'd be like, yo, leave. Okay, so for his number 5, he did Busch Gardens. For my number 5, there's a place called Armature Works, which is at the base, the start or the finish. She loves
Not the
Armature.
base.
She's been a lot. The end or the beginning?
It would be the top, if anything.
The top of the Riverwalk, there is a old car factory place.
It was a storage facility for the rail cars.
It
Or they
was
call it the trolleys.
it was a storage place for the trolleys that they turned into
At
this
least part of it.
shopping center and stores.
It's like a
and
fancy
whatever.
food court.
It's like a fancy food court. Yeah, it's true. Probably one of the most expensive real estate development food courts in America, but it is nonetheless pretty much a food court. The one we went to in Nashville was pretty lit.
It was like on the second story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty lit. But anyway, Armature Works is going to be, if you don't want to do like Busch Gardens, there's not really an alternative for Busch Gardens, so I just thought somewhere where you could go with your family and enjoy. You could walk the Riverwalk. There's stuff all on the Riverwalk, stuff like that. A lot of local people go hang out at Armature Works. So then for his number 4, he did Pier 60. Josephine, by the way, hates this whole list, apparently, even though she's been to almost all of them. So alternatively to Pier 60, there's the St. Pete Pier, which will give you an opportunity to experience the city of St. Petersburg, Florida.
And it's less touristy there.
And it's way less touristy. It's probably, I don't know if it's less pretty, and that's why it's less
it's
touristy.
not on the Sunset side.
It's not on the Sunset side,
but I think
but it's still great.
The structure of it's better.
Yeah, I like it. St. Pierre Pete's great. And so then for his number 3, he did Ybor City as a whole. And so it's hot. I mean, Ybor has a
She literally for multiple hours and hours like didn't make a sound and we're just like happy to be there. Now we turn on this and then
So for his number 3, he did Ybor City. Now, I love Ybor City. I would recommend even non-touristy. There's so many good. Ybor City is just a whole vibe. It's a whole great thing. There's great coffee shops, good restaurants, whatever. Stuff
Ybor
like
City
that.
is like multiple things. So if you go to Ybor City at midnight on Thursday,
It's like hell itself.
it's crazy. If you go there 9 a.m. on like a weekday or a weekend, totally different
Great.
thing.
It's great. Sunday morning, great time to go. Just after 6 a.m. and people finally leave, and it's phenomenal. But alternative for that, if I had to pick one, or something different you could experience in Tampa, is getting yourself involved with the water of Tampa, which the Ybor City is the land history of Tampa. It's the oldest part of Tampa, the oldest inhabited part, really, of the area.
That might not be accurate, but
Well, I mean, like,
I don't know.
it was financially developed first because of the cigar industry. So before, like, Tampa City was anything, Ybor City was a thing. So there's a lot of history
that's
there.
the part that's not accurate. But it was like a big development with the cigar industry, yeah.
Well, on the tour we took, they said differently. Of course, you told me the tour people in Ybor City don't know what they're talking about.
Those people are,
But something like,
blessed.
what was it, 1828 is when Ybor City was founded?
no,
When was it founded?
like late 1800s,
When was Tampa founded?
mid 1800s.
Well,
I want to, like, I would be totally guessing, but I want to say something like Tampa, more like 1860, Ybor, more like 1880.
I'm trying to, there is a sign somewhere that we, like, walked up to and looked at, and it was like Ybor City 18 something. I just don't remember. Maybe it was 1882.
Maybe.
1820. For some reason, 1828's in my...
I can never remember the guy, whatever his name was, Ybor.
Because there's a statue
like-
there. In what's the statue of in
Centennial Park?
in Central Ybor?
Probably of Ybor.
Because there's a statue there. Anyway, Ybor's lit, but get yourself involved in the water there with things like kayaking and paddleboarding and different things that get you on the water in
Which you could do anywhere.
which you can do anywhere. You can do anywhere.
You could go to South County. You could go to Bradenton. You could go to St. Pete. You could go
You
to
go to
Clearwater.
Manatee County. You can go
You
anywhere
could go
you want.
Intercoastal Waterway, kayaking, paddleboarding, rent a jet ski.
Definitely exercise if you're not on a motor thing, but it's still great. And I always see people, it is interesting. I see people on dates kayaking. They never really look happy, but you can do it different. You can be happy when you go kayaking. So
I had some friends who went out kayaking from downtown, and they like didn't ask which way the tide was. So then they went around Davis Island the wrong way. So once they reach like the bottom, they're like paddling up against the wind, against the tide, against the river, and the wife was pregnant and like almost didn't make it. So
at that
don't.
point, you just get carried out and see and just say, Jesus, I'm coming to see you. I just like
That's what I would do. So Ybor, no, sorry, your water sports is
water
number 3.
sports. So then for your number 2, you had the Florida Aquarium. Now, you can see some really good, amazing wildlife at the aquarium. But if you wanted to experience a naturalized version, what is Florida native out in the wild Florida? You can go manatee watching. Now, manatees are sea cows. Manatees are adorable. They're fat. They're floaty. They're fluffy. They have like algae on their butt, and you can go see them anywhere within like an hour of here. You can go to Manatee County, which is a whole county they named after thing. Or you can go up to like Sulphur Springs area. We've been up there to go see them. Homosassa Springs, manatee viewing up there.
In Sulphur Springs, I don't think there's any manatees.
I meant Homosassa Springs, which is why I added that.
There's
joint in.
manatees
Where
there.
is Sulphur Springs?
Like waters in Nebraska.
They ain't nothing in Sulphur Springs but gunshots. Rah, rah. Don't go there for nothing unless you want Korean barbecue
That's
chicken. No, that's Seminole
Seminole
Heights.
Heights.
That was close to there though. That was on Nebraska, right?
I think so.
Like Nebraska.
Shout out to Gangchu.
Yeah, Nebraska and Hannah. Gangchu, however you say
Yo,
it.
Gongchu is lit.
Korean
On Tuesday
fried
night,
chicken.
they have like
Trivia.
trivia. It's lit. So that's gonna be my
Tag
number
Gongchu.
2. And number 1, he put the Salvador Dali Art Museum. Now everybody knows, Jared. Everybody knows that you can track a city's success by its art culture. Everybody who's anybody knows that. Okay. This guy, But anyway, you got to know art is central to a city. It's very important. However, a city is made by things that happen that become history. And so more important than the Dolly Museum is the Tampa Bay History Museum, which is off the Riverwalk, kind of at its start end, whatever you call it, the other end of Armature Works, down near the Columbia Cafe, down near Amalie Arena, the Tampa Bay History Museum, where you can get caught up on all the stuff we obviously don't know about, Ybor City, Tampa City history, all the stuff about the Tampa Bay.
We know nothing about it.
The history, and you can go in there and look at pictures with stuff written on it, descriptions, similar to the Dolly Museum.
Pictures with stuff on it.
And learn a little bit about Tampa Bay.
They have like entire exhibits that you're immersive and you can walk through.
I don't know. You haven't taken me yet.
An Orange Grove stand. You can walk through a pirate ship.
Well, you did that your whole childhood.
I did.
Walk through Orange Groves.
This is an
Orange Grove guy.
It was very accurate. The Grove part.
My point is, you can go look at some artist that whatever, or you can learn about the great city of Tampa and the Tampa Bay area at the Tampa Bay History Museum. If you're going to be a tourist, at least learn about where you're going so you can go to these tourist spots and go to things. Or
I didn't know that it was a competition.
You can learn about this great Tampa Bay area and go to the Tampa Bay Area History Museum downtown.
We weren't comparing the lists.
The thing is,
in Ryan's head, that's what he did.
It's a contest.
I have already won trivia is pretty much all that matters. Even if I lose, I won.
It wasn't, hey, Jared, do the tourist spots, and then Ryan do local alternatives. Ryan said, I'm going to find the better thing that is similar to that and show you up.
That's
Ryan's
right.
like, oh, yeah, okay, you said the Dolly
I'm
Museum?
I'm going to do it.
Tampa Bay History.
I'll do you one up.
To show you how much you know, I think it's called the Tampa Bay History Center. So it's not a museum.
You don't even know what it's called.
Sucking. Today, he tried to trick me and say
ridiculous.
hamburgers came from Germany, Hamburg. And then he was like, you don't know where they're from. And then I told him exactly where they're from. And he was like, dang, nobody's ever responded like that and actually know what they're talking about. I was like, yeah, I read the same Google article that you did, cuz. Google article.
All right.
Trivia.
How you're being right now. I need you to do the total opposite during trivia. Okay?
Yeah, no. I'm literally going to hit a switch. Watch this.
I just lit the switch.
And then I went into the 6 and I hit the yicks. Hey!
So we ended the last two sessions tied.
Tied, yeah.
The first time we were tied 2-2.
But we will not
we
end
continued
tied
from
now.
there, and you guys ended 5-5.
Okay.
Are we continuing?
Yeah, we have to have a winner.
All right.
So
we're starting at 5-5.
I'm 100% sure
Rules.
Jared's going to win.
Rules.
100% sure. The rules are we can give we hit like we do and give an answer. You cannot give multiple answers on the same go. You can't just say Boston, Seattle, my grandmother, you can't do that. You have to give one answer. And when your answer is made, she's going to respond. And then I can't talk until he's given an answer, gives him an opportunity. Now, if he's super boring, guys, and sits there for 30 seconds and goes, I don't know. Okay, I may say something, but I'm not going to yell in his ear about, bro, you got to pick the Philadelphia Flyers because my grandpa, he was driving through Philadelphia and he saw a statue and then that's the...
It is a Tampa Bay sports quiz. You're saying all these other things, but it's okay.
Literally one of the questions included Seattle and Boston in the last trivia.
Yeah, but you're talking about Philadelphia Flyers.
That's because you told me the goalie's dead.
Probably.
Let's pray. Jesus, protect the goalie. Don't let him die. Bring him back to Philly. Amen. If you don't know the story about that, you'll have to go figure it out. Anyway, my lovely wife, the rules are set. The stage is set for the Miracle on Ice.
You need to not have coffee. Miracle on Ice. You watched it, by the way.
I did finally watch
Kaitlyn,
Miracle.
Trivia. Let's do it.
Okay.
See, this is what you need to not do.
Doug Williams.
That's all you have in your mind. You saw the first answer. You don't even know what the question is.
No, I don't.
I'm really frustrated that you did that because...
If it is the right answer, I'm super excited. I'm lit.
Well, I'm not going to ask the question now. I have to trash it.
Can you tell me if it was the right answer, though?
Why would it
Don't
matter?
even ask.
I don't even know the question.
Don't even ask the question.
All right,
Was
stop
Doug
it.
Williams?
What's the question? The next question.
Okay. What? Okay, this is a twofold question.
So many folds.
Yeah, you got to get both parts.
Okay.
What was the first season of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And what was their record in their initial season?
That was a tie, I think.
I'll let you go first because you know I have no idea.
All right.
Go to the dirt.
1976,
Mm-hmm.
and they went 0-14.
Yes, they did. Bah, 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 bah.
My guess, promise, 1976. I did get the year, but I was gonna guess 2 and
That
12.
was a 2-point question.
2 points. Let's go.
What?
Suck it.
You know why? Because I'm mad at you for screwing up my first question.
All right. Was the first question who?
I
was
need the rule book.
Who was the first quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
No. Okay, next question.
She said, "You
Try.
ain't gonna figure that question out. You suck it."
Next question. Which quarterback led Tampa Bay to their first winning season?
Ooh. I don't even know what year it was in.
Doug Williams. Duh. Is it correct?
I don't think it is. I think that he left and went
Is
somewhere else.
it correct?
Yes, it's correct.
I called it before she even asked it.
Only because you saw the answer.
I saw one of the 4 options, but I knew my boy Doug. Listen, Doug.
No, it's because
Shout out, you follow us
It's
on
the-
Instagram, my man D Wills. Everybody knows how we feel about Doug. He's
all right,
probably with
you
the
only
Lord.
get the point if you know what year that was. That they had their first winning season with Doug Williams.
1981.
No. Jared, have a guess?
1982.
No.
I want
it
another
didn't
guess.
take him that long.
1978.
No. No points all around?
Let's just move on to the next one. It's either 79 or 80.
I know. I already tried. It was 79.
Suck it. All right, next question.
Next question. Okay, the Rays were created in the 1998
Stu
MLB
stinks.
expansion,
Sorry.
bringing the grand total to 30 MLB teams. What was the other team that was added to the MLB in the same expansion?
Oh,
I have
to make
options.
it 31?
No.
No.
2 teams were
29,
added
30.
in 1998 to bring it to 30.
You have 2 options?
I have options.
Oh, how many? Read the options.
4.
We can't tap until she's finished reading the 4 options. Go.
Wow, okay.
What if we don't want the options? I just want to think about it and answer.
Okay. Then tap in.
Then after you're done getting it wrong, I want the options.
Fine.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Washington Nationals.
No.
Dang.
Are we ready for options?
Give me the options.
Okay. A, the Los Angeles Angels.
Nope.
B, the Arizona Diamondbacks. C, the Miami Marlins. Or D, the Cleveland Guardians.
Well, it was the Cleveland Indians first. They weren't the Guardians until like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, I know one of these is the answer, but they all sound wrong to me.
I'm going to go with Arizona Diamondbacks. Final answer.
That is correct.
Same expansion, baby.
didn't
Tampa
really tap
Bay,
in, though.
Arizona Diamondbacks.
By default, he had the answer.
What do you mean? There were
No.
4 options.
No, by default,
Oh, yeah.
you were able to answer.
Yeah, you know, I was a little, that one was a little bit difficult because I knew it wasn't Cleveland.
I just feel like they were too good in the early 2000s for them to have just started then.
But maybe that's why they were good because they had a brand new stadium right off the bat. You know what I mean?
They had Randy Johnson.
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about
Greatest
Cleveland?
pitcher of all
Oh,
time, Randy
Arizona.
Johnson. He looks like a country singer. Tell me he doesn't. He looks like, what's that guy's name?
I don't know. What's the next question, Kaitlyn?
Okay, so only because his question was worth more points are we untied, but that's fine.
It was a 2-part question.
It's 2-part question. Everyone knew the freaking
There's
year.
other 2-part questions.
We've talked about, okay.
All right. Who was the first player drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays?
By the Rays?
Yeah, we're shifting sports. Who was the first player ever drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays?
I don't got it, but I only know one Ray from the old days.
All right.
Wade Boggs.
Are you serious? He played for like a long time before he came to Tampa. Is it multiple choice?
It is.
What? Sorry, I didn't even
All
know
right.
there were options.
I will listen to the answers.
We're listening.
All right. Wade Boggs,
I would have picked Wade Boggs.
All right, keep going.
John Flattery, Tony Saunders,
This is easy.
or Paul Sereno.
I got it.
My guess was going to be Quentin McCracken.
Go. I have a guess after you.
Name this. What's B, C, and D again?
Wade Wade Boggs, John Flattery, Tony Saunders, or Paul Sereno?
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. I'm going to go with B.
I don't remember what
Flaherty.
order. Sometimes I don't say them in the order I...
Flaherty.
No.
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
It was D. Sereno.
No.
It was C.
Tony Saunders?
Yeah, that guy.
How many?
Yes.
It's like what
was-
the heck, you know?
We should.
Tony
We have to
Flanders.
create a rule that if it's wrong, then you just don't get the point.
If it's wrong down to the point where like there's only one option, then like, oh, great answer. We've never heard of any of those players except Boggy Boy.
So, I don't know.
Shane McClanahan.
So is the rule on multiple choice questions you only get one guess?
I think that's a fair rule.
Fair.
When are we implementing that after this question, Jared
No.
says?
It's
No. It can be. I don't want that. Point.
He's already
I
won.
don't
know,
want
that
a
was
sympathy
too much of a
point.
gimme.
He's up 1 point. Let's go.
Yeah, it was Tony Saunders. I don't know who he is.
Me neither.
But he was the first draft.
I don't think he
even
was
know
good.
if- I don't even know if he like
Played.
started or played. He was just the first draft.
Yeah. It's possible that he never left AA. We don't know.
True. Okay.
I'll find out in about 30 minutes when I look it up.
Tony Flanders.
Okay. This was on a list of Tampa Bay Rays trivia.
Can you tell us if it's multiple choice before? Like this is a multiple choice question?
I typically say, and I have options or
But
whatever.
I've already tapped by then.
Maybe you should listen to the question. All right. This one does not have multiple choice.
All right.
Okay. It was on a list of trivia. What is located at the back of the Tampa Bay Rays park?
What part of it is the back?
I
Because
don't
it's
know.
a circle.
A parking lot? I mean, what do you at the back?
I have no verification.
Can
if this
you
is
read the
true or
question
not.
again?
Yeah. What is located at the back of the Tampa Bay Rays ballpark?
A graveyard.
No,
You have no confirmation if this is true or not.
not at all.
So it's
This
just
is
It
a
was on a
rumor.
list.
what?
So yes, it's bizarre enough for me to put it on our trivia.
Bizarre enough to put on.
Well, a
trivia.
graveyard's underneath it. Sorry, not behind it. Sheesh.
All right, you've had a
It
guess.
says at
Yeah,
the
I
back
didn't-
at the back of the field.
At the back of the field.
Back. Oh, it's probably back of the field in the stadium, though.
It's
Not
inside.
like-
It's inside.
Inside the race tank.
Yes.
I can't believe there's no confirmation.
I have
This
no
is true.
confirmation.
I've seen
You've
it with
seen
my
it
eyes.
with your
I've never
eyes.
seen
We
it.
walked. You were there at the
Nuh-uh.
stadium. We saw it.
I didn't see it.
You were in your own world then, because we walked by it and we're like, "Hey,
Are you
With
kidding
Reagan?
me?
look
Are you
at
kidding
the
me?
Rays." Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Obviously, it was the Rays.
genuinely, honestly, 100 million% can say
At the-
I did not see
Okay.
the Rays in a
Okay,
tank.
Jared. Obviously, we both knew the Rays. All right, whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I've only been there one time, and I had
I-
2 kids with me.
What kind of a question?
It says a tank full of manta rays. That was the answer.
Wow,
Manta rays, I don't know.
they're not manta
but
rays.
stingrays, yeah.
Oh, it says
Manta
man
rays are quite large.
Oh, I don't know. That's what it says.
That's why she's like, I didn't see no manta
I
rays.
didn't see no manta rays. I saw stingrays.
I saw those stingrays. I didn't see no manta rays. I didn't see the Steve Irwin joints.
All right. The next time that we go, we will go into the race tank and you can touch one. So you
Nuh-uh.
yeah.
I definitely didn't do that.
Pretty sure you can touch them.
I don't think so.
All
Anymore,
right, so
but
Jared got that point.
COVID.
I mean,
COVID killed.
you,
Whatever.
you
Just
knew
because
that
it was a
that's
stupid
I mean, I
question
knew the
doesn't mean
answer.
it's not a point.
You know, I'm over here thinking like it's probably some like Seminole.
That's I was thinking. There's like
Indian
a
tribe thing.
burial ground at the far corner of the
I
parking
can't
lot.
confirm
And
it.
I'm
This
like,
is a rumor
"There's
that I'm
a
asking this
stingray
question.
tank."
I don't think it's a valid question because you said no. I can't
I can't
confirm this.
confirm this.
I mean, what do you mean? The whole world knows that in there's a
I
raised
didn't
tank.
Not the
know
whole
that. I
world.
didn't know if it was still there. I had no clue.
Have you seen it at the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium? They have like a
I'm giving
pool
Jared
that
the
you
point.
can buy a ticket to swim in.
This
Yes,
is
but do they have a
ready for this
Jaguar?
tie to be over.
How pathetic is that?
Is there a Jaguar in the stadium? What do you think?
Okay, Jared's still up a point.
That means I win trivia, right? Or will you have more questions?
No, I have a bunch more questions.
Oh, how many more questions are we doing?
I have 3 more questions that I can do. I'm just gonna ask them all.
Am I up by 1 or by 2?
Well,
8 to 6.
I was gonna say it depends if you give him the raised tank
two.
question.
All right. Here's a 2-point question.
Okay.
Okay. Tampa has currently a professional basketball team. They were founded in 2018. Who was the team And where do they play?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
They don't play in the NBA.
They're not part of the NBA,
Professional
but they
basketball.
play
What
professionally.
are
They
they?
are paid to play.
I bet you.
Yes, Ryan.
You have no clue.
The Tampa Bay Globetrotters. Sorry, I figured maybe it was a spin-off of Harlem. Is that not correct?
No.
I pass. I bet you they play at USF though.
No.
All right. He passed. I want to guess.
Okay.
You have zero clue what this is,
Go
and you're
ahead.
just guessing things.
The Tampa Bay Rays.
That's the baseball team.
All right. Can you just tell? Where are
Sure.
you getting these?
I want to know the facts that you have behind this. 'cause
I
wanna
looked
learn.
at their page and everything.
All
and
right,
their
I wanna
schedule and
learn.
everything. Okay, so the Tampa Bay Titans,
Wow. Who was getting that?
they were founded in 2018. They're part of the TBL, the basketball league.
The basketball
It's a
league?
minor league. Okay, you can look them up.
I'm not discrediting.
They're
what
a
you're
part
saying
of
at all.
the basketball league. What a name. I'll tell you. How did they find that one?
That's like when people refer to the NBA as the association, but like legit, the basketball league.
And
Where do they play
play at Howard Blake High School.
Oh,
For a little bit.
I don't know where that is, but
right across from Armature Works,
oh, okay.
Blake High School.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard on this show.
I'm sure they've
They've been playing since 2018, and we didn't know.
well,
Yeah. I
it's
don't
a
know if
small
anyone
league. It's a
knows.
minor league. I don't know. They play
Did it-
professionally.
did
It's,
it say-
it's a mini league. it's
Did it say what their salaries were?
No.
it's voluntary. It's just like
We pay you $1 a game.
it's just like
I
it's
mean,
like being
they
a
probably
Rays
did
girl.
say. I
We
just-
should
like-
go.
You saw me
No,
researching.
we need to go.
I didn't
I wanna
have
go to
a lot of
Blake High
time.
School.
Tampa Titans.
The Tampa Bay Titans.
We should get some gear.
The high school that I live like super close to is Tampa Bay Tech Titans.
They
And they're-
probably get paid more. I bet the teachers at that school get paid more than these basketball players.
I would agree with that.
All right, that question
Trash
is
question.
just
That was an
trash.
awesome question because that's
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
I mean, this isn't a
The
teacher
more you
time.
know.
I feel like we should have a third category, and if you stump us and we don't answer on the first
I should get a
answer,
point.
you get a point.
I would love that, but our scoreboard only allows for 2 slots.
Dang, imaginary scoreboard.
All right, I got it. Since we're married, if you don't answer it correct, I get a point.
I disagree.
I have one more
Jesus.
question.
All right.
Let's do it.
Is
Okay.
it this one has to be worth 2 points because I have to have my shot. Go ahead. Ask
Okay.
it.
Okay. It can be worth 2 points. So Tampa Bay did have a professional basketball team before as well. It has since folded, but who were they and when were they here?
Pass.
I'm gonna go with the 1970s,
A little later.
the 1980s.
They were
That's-
here in the 80s.
That's what I was thinking. The
Mhm.
1980s.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So
They
you got
are-
when.
You've nullified your
They are currently
points,
they
by
are
the way.
currently in Orlando.
No.
They
No.
were the
Were
Tampa
they
Bay
Globetrotters?
Magic. No, they were the Tampa Bay Cigar City.
My answer
Smoky
would be
Boys.
like Tampa Bay Storm, and then the arena football team copied them later.
No.
No, 80s. Who was it? And what league do they play in? And who is this?
the Tampa Bay
In-
Rays.
From 1984
The
to
Manatees.
1987, Tampa Bay had
Really
the
successful.
Tampa Bay Thrillers.
The Thrillers.
They were a franchise.
Were they
in
named
the-
after the song
Well, yeah,
Thriller?
because
I have
that,
no
that song came. That's like the years the song was on the thing. They were like, "That's a good song. Let's
All
start
right.
a basketball team."
They were part of the Continental Basketball Association.
CBA.
They won back-to-back championships in 85 and 86.
In the NBA,
How many
No,
teams
in
were
the
there
CBA.
in the CBA?
I don't know.
Whenever I hear
you know I
CBA,
didn't look
I think
that up.
collective bargaining agreement. So it's weird to think this.
They were in the CBA at
There was
the
2
end
teams.
of the 86-87.
no, it was a
Season.
ribbon. It was a ribbon thing. It was voluntary. Everyone gets a trophy. They,
There was
hey,
one team.
They had boat parades when they didn't win the championship. They just went out.
At the end of the 86-87 regular season, the team relocated to Rapid City, South Dakota. And there they won their third consecutive championship. Okay.
You know, Rapid City, South Dakota is a big upgrade.
That was
from Tampa.
actually, listen, that was actually the first Tampa three-peat.
Oh, no, they left.
Because they went to
But then
South Dakota.
But then they won.
They left and got their three-peat.
The boys left and got a three-peat.
But not for Tampa. Anyways, that's basketball for
that's
Tampa
Pat
Bay. Why
Maroon.
do we have no basketball here?
You know why? Disney World. Ruined sports.
I was trying to,
That is why the
broaden
Magic's
our
name is Magic.
sports trivia here.
No, I'm telling you, Disney World, because they draw so many people, they have so much money, Orlando's justified to have a team, but we don't have a reason to whatever.
What are you talking about?
Bro, 10 years ago, what did Tampa have to offer for the NBA?
I don't understand. We have other sports.
What are you talking about?
185,000 people? What does Tampa have? Orlando has Disney World. It makes sense that they have an NBA team.
Disney is not in Orlando.
It's right there. It's right there. What does Tampa have? Lakeland? We got
Yeah,
Plant
but they
City.
don't have a hockey
Bro.
team. They don't have.
They have the Solar Bears.
You
They're
don't
lit.
even know what you're saying currently. You're just saying words.
That is the most common phrase repeated on this show, sadly. But we're going to have to call it tonight, whether I know what I'm saying or not. Thank you for joining us on this Sippin' on 7 Saturday broadcast where I don't know what I'm talking about and
Fact.
apparently can't win trivia, and he knows everything. Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you guys later this week. Be on the lookout for reels that are funny when I don't know what I'm talking about. See you
go.
next time.
You know you can look me in the eye. It's all because of Jesus. He the reason I'm alive. I live by faith, by grace. You know that I ain't gotta strive. They told me, Tony.